Head coach, Matt Payne, we'll just take questions for him, please. Sam, go ahead and start.
Matt, obviously, back and forth first half there, and you can't let a team go on a 13-0 run and take all the momentum. How tough was it to try to crawl out of that? You got close a couple times, but it just seemed like that doomed you.
Yeah, that's probably the difference in the game. Right? We had a couple good fights there in the second half to where we closed in single digits. I think one time we got it to 2, and then they pushed it right back to double digits around 10, 11, 12, and that was big. Zach obviously went out at that time, and we had to play better. Other night, Zach got 2 fouls against Illinois, and we played really well without him. From a scoring standpoint, I think we were like a +7 while he was out. And then obviously here we weren't. And you can't, when you put in that position in the second half, you're not going to make runs if you can't stop somebody. We had to do a better job defensively, but to their credit, their shot makers made some tough ones. We had some breakdowns and they capitalized on them. And then other times when we did some good things, I thought Wilcher and Tamanagi made some really, really tough threes. And Mast is a good player. I thought he really played well, but I like their team. I like how hard they play. They're together. They can hurt you in different ways. I like their system. I like the shit they run. They cut, they move. It's real basketball, and it was tough for us to guard.
Matt, just in the first half, there was a sequence where they made back-to-back threes. In the second half, there was a sequence where they made a 3 and then 3 free throws. And both times right afterwards, it was a big 6 turnover.
Yeah.
You kind of chalk that up with poise. Did you feel like your team got rattled a little bit in this situation?
They're individual plays. If you want to grab it in theory and say we got rattled, we turned the ball over a couple times. We foul a 3-point shooter. If we fouled them, then they made tough ones, right in that stretch. So, obviously their defense was better than our offense, and vice versa. Like it just, they were pretty good.
Casey.
Does this game come down to turnovers again? You guys had 14.
Yeah, it's magic numbers, right? And so if you keep it, but I think if we have 12 turnovers, we lose, right? If you look at the number, it's not. But it's ironic when our number gets to to a certain threshold, we lose those games, and when it doesn't, we win those games. But I think there was more to this one than that. Just a simple one independent stat.
In the back.
Matt, just the battles you guys have started to have with Nebraska. I mean, what would you credit the turnaround to from the first couple of years under Fred to the last couple of years?
To me, it always starts with personnel. Obviously it's your players, but it's the connectivity of your players. Like they have good pieces together. Sometimes you can have good individual pieces. They just don't blend well together. They blend well. They have good roles. Williams can score on a given night, but he also can play make. Like tonight, he gets 11 rebounds. It's fabulous. I don't know him personally. I always think that's a big deal of getting the right guy. Tamanagi is such a threat, and he, just such a huge shot maker. And then Wilcher really helps him when he goes and makes shots for him. He really, really helps him. But I like Alec and how hard he plays. I like how hard Mass plays. Juwan Gary is, a stud. He has 18 rebounds at Kansas State. So I think that's, they have good pieces, but like Juwan Gary's now been here for 2 years. Tamanagi's been here for 3 years. I know there's centers, both of them just got here, but they have some experience. They have good role. Hoiberg did a good job. But look at their bench. I think they're 10 for 12. If I remember correctly, they made their free throws. They didn't turn the ball over. I mean, that's a recipe for success right there. When you get good bench play, then you get your guys like Mass and your Tamanagi and those guys to, really play well and make some shots.
Right.
Why was Mass so hard for Zach to guard?
I think he's hard for everybody to guard. Other night against Wisconsin, he's 2 for 7 from 3. He just missed them. One was probably a bad one, but the rest of them, he just missed them. And so he makes a couple of those, maybe that game unfolds a little bit differently. But he's good around the rim. He can go over either shoulder. He actually prefers to go over the left, probably more. The right shoulder with his left hand, a little bit more at that time. So we can get in there and we can double and run at him and do things if you want. But with their skill, we didn't think that made a whole lot of sense. And so we wanted him to have to score over him. And, he made good plays. Did some really good things, made a couple threes. Didn't turn the ball over. He's just a good player, man. Very experienced. Tough.
You started Heidi and Gillis in the second half, and Cam played played more than he has all season.
Right.
What was the reason for that lineup switch?
I thought Cam was great. Played hard, defended, rebounded, took what he gave and didn't try to do things that he couldn't do. Gillis, kept us alive in the first half and made some shots. So we were much better in the situation the way they're guarding us by spreading them out and getting those looks for him. And so that's why we started those two guys.
It's the third straight game you guys have been called for a flagrant. Is there
Yeah,
anything-
we're struggling with the flagrants.
Yeah. Is there anything to that?
I'll have to watch this. In the game against Illinois, I thought the flagrant at the end of the game was the wrong call. Guy's trying to box out. He fouled him. They pass on a foul, don't call any foul, and then they go back and call it a flagrant because they said they undercut him and he's boxing out. It's basketball. You go to box somebody out and somebody jumps, you got to jump with them or it's a foul. So they should have just called a foul on us and left it alone. And then Gillis gets taken out of the air, on a box out. It wasn't a basketball play, and we missed both of those. So I'll have to watch this one with Gillis. I saw it on the screen, but you're looking up there breaking your neck and trying to figure out in the game. And he said he just came into him, whatever. But we get another F1 at Maryland we just took a foul because the guy's on the break, and he just kind of love tapped him and tried to get him, but they said they didn't play the ball. So we're over our last 4 on the flagrants. So if you geniuses got anything to help me with that, I would appreciate it. So we got to do something about the court storms, guys. I don't know why institutions aren't ready for it. Like, what did you think was going to happen if they won? Like, spread the word. Spread the word before somebody gets hurt. But, a student from Nebraska should be able to storm the court, right? Like, we're cool. Like, just get ready for it. That's what you're going to do. So we're struggling in our conference with that. Our freshmen, sophomore, and juniors have never lost a road game without a court storm. Think about that. So think about that. Put that in your article. All right? Because someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get hurt. And it could be a student, could be one of Nebraska's guys, could be one of our guys, could be someone working the scores bench, could be anybody. But I don't know why people don't get ahead of it. All right? It's happened a lot, and it's just, I don't understand that.
You just preempted my question.
What's that?
You just preempted my question. I saw a little bit of a reaction to some things down on the floor coming off. What happened?
Yeah. Well, they just, you got to have order. You got to get a rope. You got to get police officers. You got to get people around and protect your own, protect us, protect them, protect the fans. I don't know. I'm not a cop. I don't work security. But we have to do something.
There wasn't something that happened physically.
No, nothing happened. But something's going to happen. That's not how you can't think through things like this. Something's going to happen. We don't want that to happen to anybody.
Anyone else? Ryan, last one.
More basketball question. Did you switch VE on to?
Say it again.
Did you switch Zach on to Alec right before he made that 3 there at the end?
Well, when they're together, he was going to guard Alec, just so we could keep a 4 on Mass because he shoots more threes. And then obviously Alec hits a 3, right? Yeah. So thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.